Next issue, inflation. The numbers this morning, we talked about it in the morning meeting. Inflation a little bit tempered, beat expectations. It's still an issue. And those numbers don't include everything, every recent development, which could cut one way. I won't, as I say, I'm not going to go back and forth on all the tariff developments. There were more tariff developments today, but nothing conclusive. Now, let's look at the markets from our sponsor of our program, the Bahnsen Group. Here is what happened today in the various market indices. Sam, number 19, I believe. The Dow was down, but the S&P and the Nasdaq were up. So what we say, if I were at CNBC, is mixed results, mixed trading, whatever. The Bahnsen Group, sponsor of this program. If you haven't already subscribed, go to their website and subscribe to Dividend Cafe, their newsletter. Fantastic way to keep up with all business and economic news. So, Hogan, how much pressure do you think your friend, the president, and your friends who staff the economic jobs in the administration, how concerned do you think they are about this melange of economic stuff, and what are they going to do about it?
Not much right now. I mean, obviously, those things can change. Donald Trump has a ton of political capital to spend. I don't know if he wants to spend it all here, but it's pretty obvious their messaging coming out of the White House has been pretty clear about where he wants to take the government, where he wants to take the economy. He won in large measure because of the things he was talking about, whether it be tax cuts or tariffs. And I heard today an economist make the point that if you put tariffs, 25% tariffs on every good coming into this country, if you kept the tax cuts in place, that would offset each other. So you'd kind of be stagnant. But then after time, those tariffs go away, the economy continues to boom, or will boom. I do think Donald Trump has a record here. So as we're saying about what Donald Trump will do, let's not go too crazy. The fact is, he was president before. We had a record-setting economy. I think he's leaning back on that now. And he will absolutely want this news to change. But right now, I think he's trying to turn around an economy that was kind of in a bad spot.
Alex, if you look at markets, if you look at my inbox and yours of messages from lobbyists, business leaders, some members of Republicans in Congress, even some people from within the administration, it's not quite hair on fire panic, but people are like, this is not sustainable, this level of chaos on the tariffs. Do you get a sense there's any change afoot?
I don't get the sense yet there's change afoot, but one thing I have thought about is that if you look at Donald Trump in his second presidential run, he developed a lot of relationships with big donors. And in his first run, and many of whom were big financiers. In his first run, big donors were not part of the Trump coalition. During his presidency, Trump did not spend a lot of time mingling with big donors. But in his second presidential run, he did. He got a lot of big financiers behind him, a lot of big investors, a lot of billionaires. And one of the things I do wonder is that as he's, going through this issue throughout his second term, are some of these big financiers, are they in his ear? And can they get him to change his mind on tariffs or on other economic policies that may skew a little bit more populist? And would that make him a bit more flexible when it comes to tariffs or some of these policies that he's implementing right
now? But how many of them, Alex, how many of these billionaires, I know many of them haven't been around, how many of them want tariffs?
Almost
Not
none.
many.
Almost not, right. So I'm saying he's not listening to them going, hey, these billionaires are telling me I want tariffs. He ran on this. He did it last time. In fact, Joe Biden kept his tariffs in place.
My question is, could they dissuade him or talk him off the ledge?
You're saying could they dissuade him?
Yeah.